Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news. This is Bloomberg Businessweek with Carol Massar and Tim Stenovec on Bloomberg Radio.
How about a trip to Banff? Maybe do some skiing or go in the summer, do some cycling.
Done.
Visit some fjords in Alaska, see some glaciers, whales, sea lions.
Done.
Whitewater rafting, Montana?
I just signed me up for all of it.
They're all experiences offered by Pursuit. It calls itself a, quote, pure play hospitality and attractions company. It's got a roughly $850 million market cap. The company recently completing a rebrand and ringing the bell today at the New York Stock Exchange. We got with us David Barry. He's president and CEO of Pursuit. He joins us here in the Bloomberg Interactive Brokers studio. Welcome.
So good to be here. I am a longtime viewer, first-time guest, so I'm exciid. Thank you both for having me.
Well, hopefully the first of many, although after this question, you might not want to come back because this is where we got to start. We had a big press conference from the president-elect today who said he wanted to absorb Canada and suggested using economic force to make Canada the 51st U.S. state. You have assets in Canada. You offer experiences in Canada. Do you take something like this seriously?
You know, it's a little bit like when your family's visiting and everyone has a different point of view. And there's three subjects, and we all know what they are, that you want to avoid at a family dinner during a holiday period. And thou shalt not talk about politics.
But you might not.
The other one.
But you have to plan for different contingencies here. Like, is there a future where you're not required to use a passport if you're an American to go to Canada because it is indeed the 51st state?
It makes me think of what percentage of folks actually don't have passports. But what's exciting in our world is we have a broad appeal for guests around the world to come and visit. And you know, what's unique about our business in sightseeing and attractions and hospitality is everyone in the world loves a beautiful view. Doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what language you speak, doesn't matter whether you can ski or golf or you have any athletic ability at all. All you have to do is love a beautiful view.
So it's not keeping you up at night?
No, sir.
Okay.
Not worried at all?
Not worried
You're still
at all.
sitting. You haven't left us.
Not worried at all.
Well, it's interesting. So what does worry you at this point? Or what does the environment, for tourism, we've talked about coming off the pandemic, all people want to do is experience things and go out and do things. They want to get out of their house to do things. Is that continuing? Or give us some perspective versus what you've seen over the last couple of years.
Well, what's everyone looking for? And in our opinion, they're looking for authenticity. So no one goes to Iceland to experience Alaska. They're going for very unique things around the world. And so buy less stuff, do more things. Life is precious. This is no dress rehearsal.
Right.
You might as well go and see and do the amazing things that you would like to do. And that's really what makes our business model work. And that, you know, we're in a rather unique position. We have a 10-year head start, a 10-year track record of great investments that have driven shareholder value. And it's a way for us to position ourselves into the future, continue to grow, and think of iconic, unforgettable, and inspiring experiences.
So, David, the demand, though, continues at the pace you've seen over the last year or two? Like, give us an idea in terms of what consumers are up to.
I think consumers are excited. And yes, there are certain segments of the consumer base that are more price sensitive. But in the markets that we're dealing with, folks are ready to go and spend money on great experiences. And you've just got to work hard to deliver to people's expectations. Mm-hmm.
14 attractions around the world. 28 lodges, 51 restaurants and other dining experience. You've got 51 retail stores. How do they all come together to offer sort of a package? Because when I see some of these experiences, I see, okay, this is a good one-off here. But how do you get to control the entire experience with these assets?
Yeah. So think of Pursuit. Pursuit is a house of brands, not a branded house. So think of human behavior, and
right.
You had mentioned Banff, and you're planning a cycling trip to Banff with your buddies.
Sounds good.
And you're planning to come, and so
sounds like he knows Tim a little bit.
You do some searching, and up comes, and you search Banff as a destination, and then the next thing you enter in the search bar is great things to do in Banff. Bam, up it comes. Lake Minnewanka boat tours, or the Banff gondola, or any of our different experiences. So we're lucky we get to surf behind the power of the destination, which drives search results and drives.
But all those things are your assets that you mentioned?
Correct.
Okay, so I want to bring in Elizabeth Sedrin's comment from a little earlier today. She's
one of our producers.
She's one of our producers. She said, are they trying to compete with a company like Vail Resorts? And I said to myself, I said to Elizabeth, I don't think they are. But now, after hearing you say that, you remind me of what happened over the last 20 years. And I think Elizabeth was right. When Vail Resorts bought Colorado Mountain Express and now rebranded it Epic Express, or Specialty Sports Ventures, the chain of rental shops where you rent skis and stuff. So then they control every different aspect of a tourist dollar that comes out.
So I spent 3 decades in skiing in a former life. And I can tell you the one thing that's very different in our world is we're not getting involved in skiing. So I don't need snow, and I don't need anyone with an ability to ski. So all you have to do to enjoy our experiences is enjoy a beautiful view. And so we have a simple strategy: refresh, build, buy. So refresh existing experiences, build things that are unique and connected for guests to visit and enjoy, and then buy things that we think fit our platform.
But the idea is you want a customer to go to one of your locations or one of your experiences and hopefully continue to do other experiences, correct?
Yeah, you want a guest to really think about when they're visiting a destination, how do they connect with what is authentic in that destination and what is unique and different? Because so much of the world is the same when you travel. So if you can create uniqueness, a guest then enjoys going from one experience to another.
Okay, not apples to apples. Our Charlie Pellet is a big cruiser on a lot of cruise ships. We talked to the Carnival CEO. I'm saying not apples to apples, but there are often repeat customers. And I've done pieces where I'm on a cruise ship and they're like, yeah, this is my 13th cruise or my 20th cruise, if you will. How many of the people who do one of your experiences come back and do others?
I do think we have less frequency than the cruise industry in terms of that really devoted, participative type visitor.
Yeah.
But what we do have is folks that really enjoy an experience, say, in the Canadian Rockies, and the next year they're looking to go to Alaska and experience that. Or they've somehow gotten onto the Pursuit website through a variety of different things, and they realize we have an amazing attraction in Iceland called Sky Lagoon. And so they weren't really planning to go to Iceland through us, but all of a sudden they're going to Iceland and have an experience that they know, wow, the Banff Gondola was so much fun. I'm pretty sure Sky Lagoon's going to be fun.
Do people know that the Jasper Skytram or the Banff Gondola is owned by Pursuit?
Some do, some don't. We brand everything sort of an experience by Pursuit, but we want the experience in Jasper to be very unique and connected to Jasper. Jasper's a very unique place. If you told a citizen in Jasper that we want you to be like Banff, they would come for you with the pike and the muskets, right? It's not what they want. They want their experience in Jasper to be truly unique. So uniqueness and authenticity is the order of the day.
Is expansion of where you offer up new locations, David, are you thinking very carefully about, you want to make sure that while it's a different experience, the level is the same so that people understand the Pursuit brand stands for something?
Yeah, I can cover our criteria for acquisition and growth really quickly. So one, is it iconic? Is it unforgettable? Is it inspiring? Does it have perennial demand? Are there big barriers to entry? Is it an EBITDA margin that's attractive? So we run at 30% EBITDA margin before public company costs, which is a great margin.
Right.
Do we want to go down to 14? Well, no, it's got to be something that we think is going to be able to be improved. And then finally, we look for good neighborhoods. And what I mean by that is good rule of law, good property protection, good places to do business in that our investments will be well protected.
Where are you thinking about expanding to or buying assets in?
So firstly, we're very lucky in that we've identified a couple of growth levers. One is internally within the business where we can invest and make things better. And we've put about $200 million aside for that growth over between now and 2029. But on the acquisition side, what are we looking for? It's got to be iconic. It's got to be unforgettable. Got to be inspiring. Sedona's a pretty iconic place. A good example.
But what could you acquire in a place like that would add to your portfolio?
I'm not sure I would say, even if I knew. But I think the opportunities we have are really global in nature. We're very concentrated North America, Q2, Q3. So the benefit of doing something counter-seasonal, if we could, we're very weighted to the calendar of Q3 in North America. So we've got opportunity counter-seasonally, and that leads you to different locations around the world. So yeah, if we could be busy December to April, that'd be even better.
So global acquisitions at some point?
Absolutely now. The benefit of this transformation of the sale of GES and the repositioning of Pursuit and our new clean, strong balance sheet is, guess what? We've got a great pipeline. We've got a great plan. We've got a great strategy. And now we've got great dry powder to go do some things. So we're excited. So
I'm going to say yes, global acquisition.
Yes, ma'am.
So talk to us about pricing, David. I'm just curious. And I know we talked a little bit in the break before we got back here live on air, but I'm just curious, give us an idea of range kind of things so we have an idea.
It really depends on the experience. So we have some attraction products that are very accessible for people, and you can do that based on time of day. Tim, how old are the kids?
2 and 6, let's say.
All right. So you travel from the East Coast to Banff, and at 8 o'clock in the morning, your kids are wide awake because it's 10 o'clock New York time, and they're bouncing around the hotel room looking for something to do. You, my friend, are a prime character to take a breakfast program and a gondola ride with little kids.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Whereas, like, Carol might be a little more relaxed.
I've one 21-year-old.
Yeah, 2 in the afternoon.
Sleeps in.
Yeah. So there's the sleep-in crowd and there's the early morning crowd, my friend, and you're part of the early morning crowd. So there's a good example of your pricing and providing an experience that's well suited to someone at that particular time of day.
Is part of the business strategy to make sure that you've got different price points?
You bet. And you price dynamically, and you also work hard to provide value. So we get asked all the time, are you going to continue to take price? Real question is, are you going to continue to improve experiences? Because when you improve experiences, you have pricing power. It's not just taking price and making everybody angry.
It's not
that
just
doesn't
about putting
work in
something on
hospitality.
sale or offering a discount or something like that.
You're always going to have channels of distribution where you're potentially, if you have a time of day that you want to move more folks into, you're going to price that advantageously. But can you create an amazing product that people are going to feel comfortable paying a fair price for?
You said earlier that a big difference between you and the ski industry and the big conglomerates out there now is that you're not focused at all on skiing. Does that make you less concerned about climate change?
Well, I think the benefit for us is we're not focused on any particular athletic skill that you need to enjoy a product. All you need to do is enjoy a beautiful view. So in our summer destinations, climate change is less of a factor, but we're very sensitive to, we have one planet, and we want to make sure that we do everything we can to protect this planet and be mindful. And if you go to our website, you'll see a thing called Promise to Place, where we talk about sustainability, respect, and community. Those are the 3 things we spend a lot of time on. We report very candidly. Sometimes it makes us uncomfortable, but we tell the truth about what we're doing and what's working and what's not working and what we're going to do to make it better.
So I am curious in terms of running a business, labor, like hospitality. We talk about it a lot, and access to enough workers. Do you guys have all the workers that you need?
We do. And what makes that happen is people want a voice. They want to work in a place where their opinion is respected and heard. They want to understand what is the greater purpose of this organization. We do multiple team member surveys in a year. The amount of comments we get are incredible. I do a live town hall broadcast every month where people can ask questions anonymously, and they do. And so it's all those things that work to create culture. So a culture of respect, a culture of innovation, a culture of great leadership, and genuine interest in others will drive great hospitality experiences.
Okay.
What's an experiential trend that you're seeing happen right now that you haven't tapped into yet? Like what do you see out there? Like, I want to go do that because that looks really cool. I've never done it before. We don't offer it.
I think that there are things that involve winter product in exotic destinations that people are experimenting with. And so that might be an igloo in the Northern Lights. And, you know, in Iceland at Sky Lagoon, we will get complaints every once in a while, like, I came for the Northern Lights and they did not appear. Can you make that happen?
Hey, Mother Nature?
You just smile and you know, I'm only God's assistant. I can only do so much. But the benefit of looking at how do you continue to innovate, and we're lucky, we work in a vibrant, relentless, restless culture that always wants to innovate. And so we have teams every day, they're waking up with a great idea. So there's not one thing specifically, Tim, that I would say. I would just say there's 1,000 things the team's working on right now that are exciting.
Starting out as a ski instructor, it worked out pretty well. You're pretty happy, right?
I'm pretty, like, somehow I made it here. I don't know, on your show. So I can cross my fingers and try not to say anything dumb.
Well, really fun. Let us know as the year progresses and let us know how things are going.
You bet. Thank you so much.
Love to hear back from you. David Barry, he's president and CEO of Pursuit, joining us right here in studio. Ticker is PRSU. And you guys were at the New York Stock Exchange.
This morning.
Rang the opening bell. Pretty cool stuff.